Watch one of my videos from.
I whispered to a dead calculator during an exam and accidentally became a school legend. Calculator 23 died 10 minutes into my AP Calculus exam. Black screen, nothing. This test was 40% of our grade, and I was staring at a dead machine, so in desperation, I leaned over and whispered, "Come on, buddy, wake up, we gotta do some derivatives together." The screen flickered and came back to life. The girl next to me watched the whole thing. How did you do that? I just talked to it. By lunch, she'd told half the school I could fix calculators by talking to them. The next week, someone handed me Calculator 14, which had been dead for months. I figured I'd play along, so I whispered, "Activate mathematical functions." It turned on. Now I had witnesses. Freshmen started finding me in the hallway, holding dead calculators like offerings. A month later, the principal called me into her office, and I thought I was done. "I have no idea what you're doing to these devices, but our IT budget has never been lower. So whatever magic you're performing, I need you to keep it up." It's not magic though. I think they just need to be. Don't explain it. Mystery is better for morale. I walked out of that office with permission to run a tech repair business. I had no idea how to explain. Senior year, I was sitting at my desk when a kid from the computer lab ran in out of breath.
The soldier found a piece of paper wrapped. The soldier found
I snuck into an art museum with my own painting hidden behind my back, along with $1 million price tag in my hand. An expert was lecturing a crowd. Only a trained eye can recognize true art, while pointing at a banana taped to the wall. I nodded and smiled, because this is exactly why I came here. I was broke, so if a banana was art, my painting of a coffee stain was about to make me rich. I stood near an empty wall, and the second the security guard turned away, I slapped my painting on the wall, stuck the price tag under it, and slid back into the crowd. My heart was racing so fast I had to pat my chest to calm down. A rich collector spotted the new painting, so he pushed everyone out of the way and planted himself in front of my painting. His eyes went wide, and he waved the expert from earlier. The crowd followed, and the collector pointed at the painting with a smile. "This is exquisite. The craftsmanship must be from the 1800s. I rubbed my hands together and began imagining how I was going to spend the $1 million. But then I saw my signature was smudged, and I froze, because without my name, nobody could prove it was mine. So I immediately slid over to fix it. I touched the smudge with my finger, but the expert instantly snatched my wrist. "Do not touch the art. Get this idiot out of here." I went pale and tried to pull my hand back, but the guard was already lifting me off my feet. "Wait, that's my painting. I was just fixing it." He shook his head, laughed, and started carrying me away. That's when the collector asked who painted it, and the expert straightened his tie. "It's me. I painted this." His trained eye had recognized the true art, and he had stolen my idea of getting rich. "No!" I saw the collector hand over $1 million check to that expert, and my hands started shaking. But the guard just carried me past the banana, so I ripped it off the wall and took a bite. I snuck into an art museum with my own painting hidden behind my back. I made my wife cry on Christmas morning. On Christmas morning, I unwrapped a cologne from my wife, and when I smelled it, I had to turn around. It reminded me of a wood cabin infested with mold and filled to the brim with cow dung. But when I turned the bottle, I knew it cost at least $800. So I turned back around, plastered on a Hollywood white smile, and said, "You know me too well." From there, I sprayed myself every single morning until I finished it just to get her money's worth, just waiting for the nightmare to end. But when Christmas came around again, she handed it to me. Same stupid box, same stupid cologne. I forced a smile that was just as big as the first one. She wrapped her arms around me. "I knew you would love it." I sighed, and the next morning I walked out of the bathroom without putting it on, but she stopped me in the hallway. "You forgot your cologne." I sprayed it with a grin, but deep down, I was wondering when the suffering would finally end. By our 10th Christmas, I was getting ready to unwrap my 10th putrid cologne and put on my 10th Oscar-worthy performance, when suddenly, she grabbed my hand. The cologne was discontinued, so I had to get you something new. I ripped it open, and it smelled like the ocean on a cool morning. I couldn't fake my happiness, and I twirled my wife around the room, kissing her and repeating thank you. My science teacher dropped my test on my desk with a giant red F at the top, and my eyes shot wide because every answer on the page was correct. I raised my hand and asked why I got an F when I got everything right. Ms. Briers spun around so fast I thought she'd give herself whiplash. "Because you're lazy. You've skipped my class all year, and now you think a few right answers earns you a pass. I stood up and told her that's exactly what I think. I aced it because I actually love science, not because I sat in her room. She crossed the room in 2 steps and got right in my face. She grabbed the pen and wrote a giant F in her notebook so hard the page nearly ripped. We got new microscopes in 2 weeks ago. You were never here and somehow knew everything about them. That's cheating, and I'll report you for it. I clenched my fists so hard the test crumpled in my hand. This is bullcrap. Every answer is right. I'm taking this to the principal. I stormed out, and she grabbed her gradebook and followed me the whole way. In the principal's office, I slammed the crumpled test on his desk and told him every answer was correct, and she'd failed me anyway. Ms. Briers cut in before I finished. He's skipped my class all year. He doesn't deserve to pass. The principal smoothed the test flat and ran his eyes down it, his brow tightening. But these answers are all correct. Why did you fail him? The color drained from her face. Because he skips my class. He can't just skip my class and pass. The principal set the test down and turned to her. Do you know why he skips your class? She opened her mouth but nothing came out, so I said it for her. Every afternoon while her class was running, I was working at the nearby grocery store, and every paycheck went straight to the science department because the school couldn't afford science equipment. The principal nodded because he already knew. I turned to Ms. Briers. I knew everything about those new microscopes because I'm the one who bought them. I love science, so I'll skip your class every time if that means getting the equipment for me and my classmates. I was downstairs pulling their sleepover popcorn out of the microwave when my daughter screamed from her bedroom, "I'm going to pour fire all over it." Then her best friend Emma shrieked, "No, please don't burn the house down," and my whole body went cold. I didn't know what was happening up there, but whatever it wasn't good. So I dropped the popcorn bag and ran up the stairs 3 steps at a time, screaming my daughter's name. I pressed my ear to her door and my gut tightened because my daughter's voice was ice cold. "You can't stop me, Emma." Then Emma said, "Please, I'm begging you." I pounded on their door with both fists. "Girls, open this door right now. Don't come in, Dad. We're doing something." I grabbed the handle but it was locked, and then she said, "Now I'm lighting the fire." Emma screamed again, this time saying something even worse. "It's spreading so fast." I pressed my nose to the door hunting for smoke and found nothing, but Emma sounded like the room was already gone, and I could hear my daughter cackling like a maniac. So I flew to the garage, ripped the fire extinguisher off the wall, and screamed, "Nobody move, I'm coming." I ran up the stairs, kicked the door open, and yelled, "Get down." I unloaded the extinguisher and blasted foam across the ceiling, the bed, and onto both shrieking girls, covering the entire room with foam. But then I froze, because there was no fire and no smoke, just the laptop on the bed, and on its screen a giant Minecraft mansion was burning to the ground while my daughter's avatar circled it with flint and steel. My legs gave out, and I sat down right on the foamy bed. "Honey, did you just burn someone's house down?" She wiped foam off her face. "Yeah, Emma stole my diamonds, so I poured lava on her mansion." Emma was on the side sobbing into a pillow. Turns out, there never was any fire, except in Minecraft. My daughter looked at my empty hands. "Dad, where's the popcorn?" I said, "Popcorn's downstairs," and walked back down with the fire extinguisher. I was downstairs pulling their sleepover popcorn out of the I volunteered to get dunked at the school fair when my bully cut to the front with a big carnival mallet, walking straight to the target. He's been public enemy since kindergarten, so I screamed, "You're cheating, stop!" But he raised it high anyway. "Dunk if your dad's in jail." Whack! I plunged into the freezing water as the whole school clapped. "Dunk if your mom left to get milk and nobody loves you." Whack! I hit the water again, fuming with anger. Then he held the target down laughing, so I'd stay underwater to torture me. This is my favorite game and I'm not going anywhere. I held my breath humiliated because everything he said was true, but he was about to regret every. My older brother tossed me a ball while I was gaming. I told my girlfriend's mom I was the world. I was in the middle of my biology final when I looked up and saw a clown with his face pressed against the classroom window. I tried to ignore him because I hadn't had time to study for this test and didn't need the distraction, but he was staring right at me and smiling with all his teeth. A few students giggled and my teacher sighed. "Everyone focus, please." Nobody focused because he started making balloon animals. He made a flower and pretended to smell it. Then he twisted 6 balloons into a long knife. He dragged it slowly across his own throat while staring directly into my eyes with the huge smile still on his face. I started shaking because this test was about to be the least of my problems. My teacher shot up so fast her chair flew backward. Then she grabbed the wall phone and 30 seconds later, the intercom crackled. "Entering lockdown. Teachers, please secure your classrooms immediately." She hit the lights and we scrambled to the back wall in the dark. A nearby window rattled, then another one even closer. "Oh my God, he's trying to get in," someone whispered. Suddenly, 2 fists hit our window so hard, the whole frame rattled and I started to cry. The window cracked, then we heard footsteps running outside and and people shouting. There was a huge crash right below the window, followed by silence. My teacher flipped the lights on, and we ran to the window. 2 officers had the clown on the ground with his red wig beside him, and his face paint smeared off. The whole class recognized him immediately. It was the class clown Andres. One of the officers crossed his arms. "You want to tell us what exactly you were doing out here?" Andres hung his head. "It was a joke. I just wanted everyone to get sent home early." The officer shook his head. "And the knife?" Andres sighed. "I didn't think that part through. I slid down the wall and sat on the floor with my head between my knees. My teacher crouched next to me. "You can retake the test another day." I took a deep breath. Cool. I was in the middle of my biology final when I looked up and saw a clown with A middle-aged man barged into my barbershop, skipping the entire line and pushing the old man I was about to cut out of the chair. "I've got a date in 30 minutes. I need to look perfect for her. Everybody else can wait." He plops down into the chair, and I was halfway across the old rope bridge when it started swinging, and I almost got flung straight into the air. My older brother was standing back on solid ground next to an anchor post, swinging the rope with both hands. I grabbed the ropes and looked down, and my eyes went wide, because under me was a long fall onto rocks and shallow water. I screamed as loud as I could. "What are you doing? Stop!" He gripped the ropes tighter and smirked. "What, scared of a little